Alrighty, everybody, welcome to a new video, and it is a familiar face that we have here. He is everybody's favorite Habibi in the call-in shows. Missak, how are you, Habibi?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very good. I'm
No
very
emotion, just a
happy.
wave.
Yeah. Well,
But today, so I brought Missak on today because he actually messaged me on the Discord saying, no, you're good. You just got to put your stuff back on. There you go. So the idea is Misak kind of wanted to break down certain things because him and I both saw some interesting things on Twitter when it came to certain players and certain ratings like that. So Misak's like, hey, let me hop on for about 10-15 minutes and let me break it down. Let me see if I can break some things down for you.
a lot of chances. Uh, we created a lot of chances and we played a very good game. And now we try to understand, like, we see a lot of criticism towards our team about there is no plan, there is no ideas, there is no patterns. But actually, if you break it down, Juventus has a lot of patterns and it is taking a modern approach and mixing it with one of the principles of Allegri at the same time. Um, we will try to show you what we try to do and what we try to do in every game throughout from this year, like from preseason towards today, and specifically this game, what we try to do, how we build up, how we try to move the ball. But the key thing to remember is tendencies. This keyword is very important to understand how we play. We play to try to give freedom for the players' tendencies. Now, when we go to the tactics, you will show what's our tendency and how we can even exploit it better and what is restricting us at the same time. Okay, so this is gonna be the tactical breakdown.
So, our buddy did bring a board. He's gonna. There you go.
Okay, so first thing to first, we have to understand how we build up. As Bremer has said in his interview, even, and a lot of the players have said, especially defenders, that they're trying to build up from the back. Okay, which is very important in modern football. How we usually do with Chesney is when we have Chesney, okay, easily we're having like a 4 here. Okay, whatever the name is, it's gonna have as a goalkeeper as an auxiliary center back, Locatelli as a pivot, and usually this 6 either Miretti or Fagioli as the double pivot most of the time. So we have one natural 6 and one fake 6. Okay, well, Rabiot is trying to find pockets of space in between. During preseason, instead of the Rabiot, it was Weston McKennie, and we remember against Real Madrid, he was causing havoc with his runs. Now, what happens is that when we have Perin, he is not good in the ball at all. So this 11th man is already out. So how we build up is depending on how the opponent is blocking the lanes. If they are blocking it in this way, okay, in this way, McKennie intelligently drops into a right back spot, okay, and Miretti will be here shifting into a double 6. And how we move the ball is very simple. I will try to find a way to draw. Okay, so it is, if the ball starts from here, it goes here, and then their fullback will usually push on McKennie. What we try to do is, if it's Miretti that's blocked, we go here like this, then the 5 will drop here, and then it will go here, and Miretti goes to this pocket of space, and Locatelli tries to hit it. Now what happens with Locatelli is, depending on which area we're trying to build, his long pass game is affecting a lot. So his success rate, depending on which tilt of the field we are in, is successful and less successful, which in turn is making our build-up look bad and looking build-up look good. Okay, that is the difference. Now, when I talk about tendency, especially, we know we have a player that is named Filip Kostic. Now, Filip Kostic and Federico Chiesa together cannot coexist, and yesterday was another proof that they cannot play football together. Because how is Kostic good, and how he goes towards his tendency is try to hug the left flank and just cross it in. Okay, Chiesa also tries to go to the left flank, but doesn't cross it in all the time. He tries to beat his man and go inside. Okay, cut inside. Now, if we're gonna play that way, and Chiesa is our main player. However you put it, he and Miretti together, even though Miretti is less, how can I say it, effective in front of goal completely. He hasn't had anything good in front of the ball, but both of them are very influential to our build-up, to how we move the ball. If you put Chiesa and Kostic on the same side, they completely neuter each other. So that is one problem that Allegri has to figure it out. Either if he wants to play Kostic, you have to rest Chiesa, which playing once a week, I won't recommend it. No need to rest Chiesa. Or you put Mr. Cambiaso. But we know what feels different, as other spectators say, like especially against Udinese and throughout the preseason. They say it feels different, it feels nice. It's not very as different as you can say. It's because the tendency, again, what Cambiaso tends to do is come inside with Miretti here, and then what we do immediately is to make a box midfield. Okay, box midfield is the current, like, the best setup modern football is playing with, is to create boxes in the midfield to create multiple passing lanes. I'm trying to do this. Okay, you have 3 options all the time open, and you can move the ball around as much as you want. What would Chiesa do in turn is try to be against the fullback, while Vlahovic, you try to occupy the spaces in between, try to hold off the ball. And this in turn creates many problems to the oppositions. Now, what happens usually is that Miretti is very good in finding pockets of space to enter in, and that helps us tremendously in moving the ball. So what usually happens when we have Danilo, Bremer, and Gatti, okay, I will try to remove the paint. Okay, so what usually happens is that we would have this sort of, sorry, okay, wait, Kostic here. What we usually do then is when the ball comes and it gets to Locatelli, it gets into the feet of Miretti immediately. And Miretti has it. He has that physical attribute, a natural gift, to find space in between. Like whenever there is my God, what's going on? Sorry. Whenever there is the ball moving, he knows when it's time to drop deep to receive the ball. Okay, when to receive the ball, depending on if Rabiot is blocked, he would know immediately to just go down to this side, make a 3, or go in the middle. Like, that is very important, and it's a very natural quality that not a lot of players have. That's one thing. So when he has the ball, he immediately we would be in a position of having an advantage. Now, as I said, there is a lot of pros, but there is cons. McKennie had a very solid game because he had a solid game because he's not a wing back in the first place. Okay, he is naturally a mezzala. That's his pro role. But what he was doing is, because we were pressing very very high, like our players were mostly this is Locatelli, Rabiot was high about here, Miretti was here, everybody was higher up in the pitch. To move the ball, Gatti was coming inside most of the time because he has a technical quality to pass the ball. So Miretti was occupying this. Miretti was taking the space of McKennie, while McKennie will drop back into the center back position, making a 3-2-2, sort of a 3-2-3 kind of formation. And we would try to make a box midfield in the middle, and it was successful because throughout the game we generated an XG of 3.01, which is okay. Max Allegri, we know how he is, and that's rarely happens with Max Allegri because we also missed the penalty. Now criticism goes, other than Kostic, one criticism I have is our striker, Dusan Vlahovic. He has great, very fantastic finishing ability. Like he has that natural gift that's very rare to put the ball in the back of the net. But to compete, to be in the highest level echelon, you cannot not know how to play with your back against the goal. That is a signature, you know. It's like passing a test. If you have everything right, but you don't know how to play your back against the goal, when you get to the highest level and the highest matches, when you need him to do that, to bring others into play, to bring fluidity into the play, we can't achieve it if he still stumbles, and if he has bad touches, if he has no vision on even a simple thing which people don't understand is when he receives the ball, he can just pass it back late off, which when he does it, because he does it, and sometimes he doesn't do it. When he does it, you see that the team is moving higher very quickly. But when he doesn't do it and stumbles on the ball, you see that there is disjointment in our attack. Now, that's how we played yesterday most of the time. We saw some shifts again when Cambiasso came and Pogba came. Pogba is a very special player. There is no other way we can describe it. His technical quality exceeds our league even. Like, there isn't somebody as good as him. The physical problem of Paul Pogba is an issue, but managing him 20-30 minutes is going to be a difference maker, because Miretti in phase 4 of the game, whenever he has passing options here in this area, he gets lost. He gets under pressure and he doesn't know what to do with the ball, even though there is clear ideas. Like if there is clear ideas on what to do, like just pass it to Chiesa, make it through ball to Chiesa, make it through ball to Vlahovic. There is the options, but he's afraid. That's a mental thing more than a coaching thing, that he himself as a person has to grow out of it. But another way, it was a demolition of Empoli. It also proves that we are trying to evolve as a team in some way, but there is still steps to go further, to develop more. Another thing that I now remembered is the press, which I talked about on yesterday's live stream call-in show that you can join after every post game, by the way, and give your opinion. So what happens is, when we press high, okay, Chiesa, Vlahovic, Miretti, Kostic is here. When the ball is there with the goalkeeper, we try to pass high. Okay, we try to block the lanes as much as possible, like this. Locatelli, even Rabiot is blocking the lanes, and we try to press high. But when the ball is already in this area, in exactly 1 second, let me draw the line, in this third space, okay? If you make a third space like this and third space like this, okay? When the ball is in this area, immediately we are going for a very low block structure, going into formation we were in the previous years, which is almost in our own half even below it, and try to press it whenever it gets into these areas, okay? But that's not sustainable. When we have to press, we have to continue pressing all the time in between. That's one major criticism that I have against Allegri, is that even though he's trying to evolve, but his natural tendency of having a low block, he is not letting it go, which is a major criticism, because if you can start pressing in every level of the ball, we would recuperate the ball higher, and we would put the opponent in a difficult situation, and in a disorganized situation makes it easily solvable for us with a couple of passes, and we can get into the goal. And that's pretty much it. It was a good match, a solid match, and we just have to build up on the momentum. Now we're against Sarri, and against Sarri, I have one recommendation, and everybody's gonna hit me for it, but I would play Moiskin next to Chiesa, because I know we're not gonna possess the ball as much or as nearly as enough so that Vlahovic can be in the play and can get the goals enough. So I would rather have Moiskin, because he has the athleticism to run behind, even as seen in the last part of the game. That's one of my ideas. But everything else, and Kostic out, Cambiaso in, Weah instead of McKennie, keep the center backs as the same, and then we go for another win. Episodes, more breakdowns, and if you like us very much, join our live call-in show post games.
And the Discord.
Yes.
But all right, guys, we'll catch you in on the next one.